You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AfterBuzz TV for the A-List Dallas. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest A-List Dallas news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off, and the buzz continues, it's AfterBuzz TV for the A-List Dallas.
Yo, what up, AfterBuzzers? It's your boy DJ Jesse Janedy here in the AfterBuzz TV studio booth, and they all gone. There ain't no one on the range tonight, just me, David, and we got Cameron on the line. But I'm gonna introduce y'all. We got Cameron Marston's on the line. Cameron.
Good evening, good evening.
Cameron's deathly ill, but thank you for calling in and taking the time. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate it.
I didn't make my key clock still, I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
He's lying. He's really not sick. He's out drinking.
You got wasted.
He's in Cantina's bathroom right now.
I hear that loud house
talking
music.
in the stall.
I hear it.
And then we have the one, the only, the fabulous Sir David Schifilliti.
Oh, hi. What an intro.
And I wanted to give you something special for taking the time to not go to a holiday party and to be here in studio.
Well, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. My tiny little heart.
If you're wondering where Jacqueline, Kanisha... Kenny, that's my name for
Okay, I love it.
For Kanisha.
Kanisha.
Or Natalie are. They're all at a holiday party getting drunk. They will be calling in. They don't want to leave you hanging, so they will be calling in talking all that is A-List Dallas. Can you guys believe next week is the season finale?
I'm kind of shocked. What episode are we on?
We are currently 9. So only 10 episodes.
So only 10 episodes? I mean...
They probably want to test it out, see where the water's weighted.
Understandable. Because who knows, like...
But hopefully they'll come back sooner than later. Because this was a great season.
It was a great season.
It was more entertaining than New York. I feel like we can go a lot more places with them.
I don't know about that.
What did you guys think of this episode, though? Liked it? Didn't like it? Where did it go in the... where was it on your radar? On your radar.
Oh my god, always bringing it back to Brittany.
Always.
Well, you know, as far as like a episode goes, it was entertaining as they all are. I think there was a lot of interesting things being thrown around by everybody. But I don't know about these people. They sort of drive me crazy.
Cameron, what did you think?
They drive us crazy too.
All right, Kanisha is back on the line.
Hey,
And Jackie is back on the line.
Hey guys.
Hey, y'all.
How's your holiday party?
It's eventful. It's eventful. I like it. I'm having a great time.
Nice.
I didn't know there was gonna be food, so I'm good right now.
Very festive of you.
Food and free drinks.
Well, did you guys miss watching the A-List tonight?
We did, actually, to be totally honest. But Natalie gave us a breakdown of the episode.
Awesome.
My hair was quite saucy.
Well, so real quick, what do you got? What are your thoughts as far as next week being the last episode?
I'm they better have a second season because I'm kind of depressed knowing that things, not that things weren't heating up all season, but since things got rather saucy in this recent episode, I'm wondering how they're going to wrap it all up in the last episode, and they just better renew it.
It looks like we're going to get
a threat?
A big bang next week. Wait. So we're gonna say, speaking of big bangs, James went on an audition today. He's looking for work,
Oh, I heard about that.
Yes, for Chubby Chasers, the movie.
The minute
I heard that was butt smacking. Is this true?
Okay, he goes in for this audition. First of all, it's called Chubby Chasers. He's sitting in the waiting room talking to everybody, and he pulls out a tiny bottle of vodka and makes himself, or like rum or whatever it was, makes himself like a rum and Coke and puts it in a water bottle right before he goes into the audition. And then they tell him he's in there to be a quote-unquote twink to the Chubby Chasers, and James, by no means would I consider him a twink.
By no means would I not walk into this audition and say, hey, is this a movie or is this a porn?
Well, just by the description that he gave, that it's a Chubby Chaser who lost his jock boyfriend and who's now going back out into the world to find his love. And the scene that they're given, first of all, there's no script, it's all improvised. And the scene that they're given is they're in a club and the twink is in a club and they have to dance and find the chubby and dance with him like they love him, like they have just met their Prince Charming. And it's just insanity what these boys going into audition for this movie or whatever it is, they're like taking off their clothes, they're like trying to do the worm on the floor, and it's just
that made no sense.
James took his pants off and started unbuttoning his bathing suit that he was wearing
and
underneath.
Kissed the old fat guy on the cheek and said, smack my ass, go ahead.
Do you have any dignity?
Well, let's just, I want to throw this to Kenny. Now, Kenny, what type of experience could you relate this to?
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. First of all, I have no experience on that topic, okay? I am probably the casting director in this movie, so I am not taking anything off. You know what, the story is very skewed because we assume that the Prince Charming has to be a twink and, like, the Chubby Chaser is blah, blah, blah. From my experience, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and whoever is doing this movie sucks, pretty much, because...
Kenny, are you getting drunk preachy right now?
I have a question. How would you compare this to Austin's audition?
Just as skeezy.
Actually, I would actually think this was more skeevier than Austin.
Like, it was on another level.
Yeah, this was really, like, bad. This was, like... yeah.
I mean, this is something that as an actor you go into and
the
minute you get in there and you hear the description of what you have to do, it has to send red flags up into your head because there is no way in hell.
At least Austin was getting like pictures from the shoot. Like he could have been like, "Oh, could I see the reel or something?" He could have gotten something tangible out of that. This was like,
I mean,
where would you ever want to show this reel to anybody?
And you don't think James knew that going into it?
Well, I mean, he was getting drunk.
Yeah, like at first, I think he was excited at first, and then he was like, he saw it, and then when he had to do the audition, he kind of said, "You know what? Fuck it, I'm here. I'm just gonna go for it."
He had fun. I think he was definitely the best one that they showed us who auditioned.
Which to me is almost bad because you were the best one for this audition. That's
and it was
really
his first audition, but he was hilarious. I mean, he had fun with it, and he made it his own. But
is Cameron Marston in the building?
Cameron's on the line.
He is?
Yes.
What do you have to say about this, Cameron? I'm curious to hear what you have to say about this.
Well, no, I think it was contrived. I think it was a good scene for James if his actual endeavors are headed in that direction with acting. I thought he was entertaining. I thought it was all kind of silly and a little, not disgusting, but I mean, I am a chubby chaser, not to that extreme, but I like guys that are definitely bigger than me. It was weird. But then again, it's Texas. We've already made comments about how different Texas is. You know, unfortunately, we're spoiled. We live in LA. You know, we're spoiled. And it's a TV show, whatever.
Well, we're gonna add someone else into the conversation right now. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hi, this is actually James Doyle.
James.
Hi, James.
Welcome to the AfterBuzz
Welcome
TV
to
After Show.
AfterBuzz.
It's the first time I watch you guys. I think you guys are like freaking hilarious. So
James, what the heck were you thinking when you went into this audition?
I mean, really.
Like, let's just have the tea
Come on,
right
tell
now.
us. You have to let us know.
Oh, wait. I am following him right now.
James.
Go ahead.
James, the floor is yours.
okay, what would you like to know?
Okay, going into this audition, did you know what you were going to have to be doing, or was it just all told to you when you showed up?
When I came in, I was kind of prepped that I would have to talk on the camera, and it would be improv.
Right.
And it'd be a lot of bears. They didn't tell me I'd be dancing. They didn't tell me I would have to come up with like a 3-minute monologue. But I think I did okay for the circumstances.
I think you did great.
It was intense.
You were very entertaining.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have to interject. This is kind of like surreal to me because we were talking about this whole incident and James just happens to call in. Like, what are the chances of that happening?
That's like 1 in 100. Did you ask James? No,
Well, I saw
no.
on Twitter, I saw you guys on Twitter, and it said live. So I was like, turn it on to watch it.
Yes, we are live.
Well, and James, I gotta say my favorite line from you today was, if I can't lose something in him, then I don't want to find something.
I mean, trying to find the Jolly Rancher.
Yes.
That you left there the night before.
Yeah, it's like Ashley's new catchphrase. She says to be text every day now. It's like Jolly Rancher, just randomly. So,
I mean, I don't know
where to go with it, but let's get past the audition because
because
actually there's some other stuff that I want to talk to you about because you guys went to this like Saddle Ranch place to save the wild horses.
Saddle Ranch is a bar, Jesse.
I mean, this might as well have been a bar. I mean, so how long were you guys there for? Was it like 2 days or was it the full weekend?
it was just 2 days, but I mean, it was actually a really good cause. Like the people there were amazing, and they didn't really know what to think about us when we first got there. But I actually, like, I watched the episode, and you see us do our thing, but we actually did a lot more behind the scenes than it showed. Of course, like Taylor, did his thing, and
which was
Philip. Actually, I was so proud of Philip because Philip actually got down and dirty, and he worked his ass off that day.
Well, no,
so.
James, actually, I'll give you credit because watching this and watching all of you guys, like, to me, I mean, obviously I expect Levi to do that because he works on a ranch. But Ashley and you, like, just seeing you lifting up the wheelbarrows, and just the way you were working, we didn't hear you complain. And you were just doing the full-out work. Philip had his moment, so it's interesting to hear you say that you were proud of him for as far as he did. Did he do the full 2 days with you guys? Because we didn't see him at dinner with you guys.
He wasn't at dinner with us, but he did work really hard when he was at the refuge with us, which I didn't expect him to do. So, but he just couldn't be down there the whole time with us. I don't know. I think he had something with the schedule. He couldn't make it. So.
And so, what can you tell us about you and Philip's relationship? Because you guys have kind of been up and down. To us, we watch the show and we see Philip. And he kind of gets this bad portrayal. I actually like him because I think if we didn't have him on the show, we wouldn't have drama.
But he definitely is edited to be the bad guy.
Yeah, but last week Ashley called in and she said he's really a sweetheart. It's the way that it's edited. So I'm kind of interested to see where you and Philip's friendship lays.
Philip and I have had our ups and downs, of course, but we're doing really well. Like, we still hang out. We still try to get together every now and then. I wouldn't say we're best friends. We don't hang out every day, but there's no, like, stupid tension anymore with us, and we can actually go out with our friends, and we don't fight, and we don't gossip, but we don't gossip about each other. And so, I mean, we're a lot better than we were during that one beautiful episode. So
that's good to hear.
And James, I have a question. What are you currently, now that the show has wrapped, what are you currently working? What are you pursuing right now?
I heard you were promoting.
I'm not really doing very much of the party promoting right now, but because obviously I need to stay out bars for a little bit. But I'm actually really trying to pursue acting because I feel like I can maybe do it if I have a little bit of training. And so I'm trying to get out to LA soon. We've just been so swamped when the show ended. We all have our appearances and we're doing different things, different charities. So we're really busy, but that's what I want to do is I want to get out there and try to see if I can crash and burn at acting, but maybe I can do well and land something. And so I'm just kind of taking it a day at a time.
Good for you. We'd love to see you out here.
Oh, I love it out there.
And definitely comedy and improv is right up your alley, because
I believe so.
After watching that audition, for you to go in that the way you did and nail it out with no script there, I think you found your calling as far as that goes. What about, all right, so let's get into, you guys went out to dinner, you guys worked at the ranch, and I actually have a lot to say about Taylor. So hopefully, I don't know where you can stand as far as this, but I can't stand Taylor. He gives somebody like me a bad name because I am religious. I do preach church. I do preach God. And to me, what I've noticed from this episode is...
I'm sorry, we have Natalie here, sorry. Natalie wants to say hi to James.
Oh, Natalie's our other... They're drunk at a holiday party right now,
so
James.
Please excuse them.
Please excuse
James, I got a lot of things to say about the audition.
Yeah.
James.
Yes, ma'am.
I've had like glasses of wine. Wait, do they know we're at our Christmas party?
Yes.
Okay. James, I was so excited that you brought your own flask with you because I understand. And we're not condoning drinking. We're all taking cabs out. Let me see if it's here. Let me give you the mood right date. Something stupid on TV.
I'm sorry. Hello.
All right.
I like her. She's fun.
That's Natalie. That's our other host.
He told me I'm following him on Twitter.
She's following you on Twitter, James.
Because
Oh, you guys.
I'm following you on Twitter.
Hang up on them.
I
Hang up
wanted
on
to
them.
know the reaction to your audition. And there was none.
All right, and she loved your audition. But for everybody out there listening, we're sorry about that. But one thing I've noticed about Taylor with this episode, Taylor uses people. He uses God as an excuse. He uses Muhammad, and he's using Levi as a sexual vice.
Plaything.
Yeah.
It is cold.
So James, what's your position as far as you and Taylor are concerned?
Taylor and I are, I can say, I mean, we live across from each other, kind of, but...
Oh, you do? Are you in the same,
like, we live in the same, area of town, our apartments. I can see his apartment from mine.
Okay.
But he and I don't hang out.
Were you...
I think that... Huh?
Were you around when there was all those... When he was having those quote-unquote hate crimes?
I actually didn't. I just moved into the neighborhood,
okay.
Probably 3 weeks after that all went down. So
Okay.
I don't know anything about that. I haven't asked him about that. I never talked to Taylor ever, outside of filming, really. He's just, I don't know. I try to be nice to him, but he just has this way of turning things and turning people against each other really quickly. And I don't like being involved in it, so all of us have kind of stayed out of it lately, and I try not to cut him off, but it's hard not to.
He's a very...
I like that. That's very diplomatic.
It is.
Absolutely, and he was very manipulating, especially at the dinner scene, for him to call out. It was like as soon as he gets backed into a corner, he just throws the ball the other way, and he threw it towards...
That's the biggest thing about Taylor, is if he's not in control, he flips out.
So what was that feeling like? I mean, because you and Levi, from what we see, it's kind of always been open-ended where, what they've led us to believe is that you kind of feel like it was an open situation with you and Levi, but Levi kind of has shut the door on this. They left it alone for a few episodes, and here we go again. You guys are sitting down having dinner, and Taylor brings it up again. Was that awkward for you? Are you and Levi fully over it, the situation?
Levi and I are completely fine now. Levi and I can hang out. We can go out together. We can go to dinner. We're fine. We had a thing a while back, and during the reunion show, you'll see how everything plays out. But no, Levi and I don't have any beef, and we just both of us get really annoyed when they just keep beating a dead horse. And that's why whenever Taylor did that, we were like, okay, peace. We're gonna get up. We're gonna go outside and smoke a cigarette because I'm not dealing with this on or off camera. So it was just really annoying.
Well, that's good. At least now you guys can have gotten past it to a certain degree where you can be friendly with each other and And have just a regular friendship as opposed to this awkwardness that we saw at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, it was definitely awkward to hang out with Levi, but now we're like, now we can actually hang out. We'll text and we'll go out, so we're good.
That's good. That's always nice to hear.
I'm sorry, I have a general question for James real quick. We've been following you all season, and there's this sort of, you're getting this bad rep of being the alcoholic or the,
You don't actually feel that's true.
I don't feel that's true either. I feel as though that you're getting a bad rep. How are you? Do you agree with how you're portrayed on the show as far as editing, or are you? Do you accept the fact that?
Well, I think that editing did give me a hell of a job when it came to drinking. But I don't think I'm, at one point in the summer, I was stressed out for filming. I was stressed out in my personal life, and I drank a little more than I should, and you saw that on camera with Philip and I had our little altercation. But for the most part, I'm really not, a drunk. That's why I hate it. I mean, obviously, everyone's sending these messages on Facebook about AA and all this fun shit. And it's like, guys, you see, an hour of my life every week. That's not me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So, most of the stuff we film at are events where we're drinking. So, of course, I'm drinking. But no, I think I gave him a little bit too much ammunition with the drinking this season.
Well, bless your heart, because I probably would have done the same thing with Philip if I walked in a crowd who was just talking about me and acted like they weren't when I walked up. So, rock on.
Yeah.
I think we've all been.
James, I really think, because I just finish you on this show a lot, because I feel that you are the least of the problems when it comes to alcohol on this show. So I kind of felt like you got a bad rep during some episodes with the whole drinking issue and blah, blah, blah.
I mean, they got to have something to nail me with. I did drink. I mean, I'm not going to say I drank more than any of the other cast members, but I just, I was edited and I was sometimes a little more drunk. So, I don't know, it just all played out to make me look like that, which is, it's half true, half false. So I'm going to let them run with it. People are going to say what they want. The people that know me, so I'm not really too worried about it.
Right. Good for you.
It's a great way to look at it.
Now, as far as you and Ashley, you made the comment you felt like you were Ashley's project versus Ashley's friend. Looking back, and I know we're going to see a lot of it next week because she gets kind of upset with you. Where do you stand as far as your thoughts on how she was trying to go about helping you? Do you think that she was looking at you in a different light, almost in a preachy type way, or really truly understanding who James is and saying, you know what, these are the problems that we need to deal with, not just the alcohol or anything like that?
I think Ashley had an image of me that she wanted me to be that wasn't me.
Right.
And when I didn't fit that mold, I think it made her kind of upset at times. But right now, Ashley and I are pretty much best friends. We're still best friends. We're fine. We talk all the time. We text, Twitter, etc. I try to see her as much as I can. But she's definitely laid off. She's letting me do my own thing now. But no, Ashley's always been good. She's always had good intentions. Just sometimes it was a little bit above and beyond with the, she gets a little carried away when her hair gets big with all her hairspray. She gets excited, and that was her project, so I was kind of the guinea pig.
Do you feel like that you found what you were looking for? I mean, through this season we saw you you had your therapy sessions, you went to church with Ashley, and just even though you didn't, I'm sure you're not bouncing around to church every week, but from any of those experiences and from being on TV and looking back at yourself, what have you learned from the show? Has the show helped you grow in any way?
Well, I think being on a reality show is the biggest form of self-reflection that you can have, because you watch yourself in all these situations. You watch how you deal with yourself, how you deal with people, and sometimes you look back and you're like, I can't believe what the hell was I thinking? Why would I act like that? Or why would I say that? You can't take anything back, but I think every experience I had was good on the show, and I think that it helped me kind of push myself into the direction that I want to be in, but I'm still working on myself. I'm not even halfway where I want to be. So it's going to be a long process, but at least, this summer I get to watch myself, and I got to change a couple things about myself and how I react to situations, etc. So I think I'm doing pretty good now.
Very nice.
Do you think that the show has helped you in that growth to a certain extent, or do you think that it was something that you've always instilled in yourself, but the show actually helped you along that process?
The show has definitely helped my self-esteem because I get messages from people all over the world that are very supportive, and they're very I get huge letters from 16-year-old boys that say, I'm coming out, and reading I don't know if you read my blog about when I came out for I Felicious, but my coming out story, I get all these awesome letters from people that are you're an inspiration, which kind of scares me because I drink a lot on the show, but they're you're an inspiration. I'm from a small town like you, etc. So getting hundreds of these messages, it makes me feel like I'm doing something good and that I'm going to make it. So I don't really know how to answer, but
does it feel overwhelming at times that you are such a public example now?
Well, it's funny because when I want to get away from it, I can go to a straight bar and no one knows who I am really, except sometimes the waiter will know who I am or something. But I went to Houston last weekend. I went out with friends and I walked in. They gave us bottle service, and then we walked in, announced with someone. It gets intense. It gets to the point where you have to have a drink because it's so much anxiety when you walk in. And everyone's like, "Oh, that's James." So they all want to ask questions. They all want to say hi, and I don't know. It's fun, but it's definitely it wears on you some nights.
On that note of having this sort of national, worldwide platform that you have been given, the opportunity to have you recently, I know that going around on Facebook and Twitter and everybody's talking about Jonah Maury's What's Going On video that he posted on YouTube a couple months ago. Did you have any thoughts on that? Did you reach out to him?
I definitely feel for him. I retweeted it, yes, but it's there's so many kids going through it. That's the biggest thing, and I'm trying to use my platform right now. I'm trying to work with my manager actually with Drew Ginsburg from Most Vengeful Dallas. He's one of my friends, and we're trying to do a tour together to go around and talk about being gay and what being on a gay reality show, what kind of platform it gives you and what you can do with it, and that you can become a stronger person just because you're gay. It doesn't matter. You're still just as good as everyone else. And I'm definitely trying to be an example of someone coming from, because I had a horrid experience coming out, and I want to be there for people that they really have no one to talk to. They don't have anyone to turn. I didn't have Facebook or MySpace when I came out, so it's a lot easier, I think, now to reach out to people. But I'm trying to use my platform for something good. I don't want it to go to waste. So I'm trying to do a couple charities. I'm trying to get involved. But it's all so new right now because our show is just about to end. Mm-hmm. So hopefully in January, February, you see it all kick off.
Well, and
James, do you have do you have a blog? I know you mentioned that you talked about this on a blog. Do you have a blog or anything you'd like to plug? Because we can plug it here.
Well, I have iFelicious.com. I think that's what it is. I swear. I love her to death. I can't remember the website, but I think it's iFelicious. It's on my Twitter. She's done a lot of interviews with us. I think she's awesome. She's funny. She doesn't hold back on her questions. And also, New Now Next, of course, they do a lot of stuff on us. But, iFelicious, she digs deep. That's why I like her.
Nice. And adding on to kind of what Kenny said, as far as who you've been represented as on the show. A couple weeks ago, though, actually with a fight with you and Philip, I came out to mention that I actually really respect the honesty that you bring into the show, because we don't get to see a lot of people go through the things that you go through. We all go through it, but nobody's talking about it. And so I know you keep saying you want to use your platform to reach out, and I think that you already have done that just by watching you on this show. So it's much respect to the fact that you want to continue that and elevate it bigger.
What
charities? I definitely had some moments. I was embarrassed. When I watched that fight scene, that was embarrassing. And then afterwards, that was so. It was everyone tries to say our show's scripted and it's fake. And I'm like, it'd be a lot easier if it was. Because after that fight, when I was with Ashley, that was real. When you saw me lay down between the cars, I was trying to get the cameras on my face.
But
so,
that was the
I mean,
exact moment.
That was heartbreaking.
That was the exact
and
moment.
I didn't want to watch it. Like we all watched it together as a cast. Actually, whenever that episode came out, we watched it early together, and like I teared up in it. Like it was pretty intense. And, like my whole cast was there, and they're like, "It's okay," they give me a pat on the back. So it's really nice that there's still family, even though we want to kill each other sometimes. We're there for each other. So it's really cool.
James, I have a quick question. We saw an episode with you and your mom, and it was kind of a nice little escape from the whole drama and blah, blah, blah. What is your relationship with your family as far as, you being out and, this whole trust fund that we're always exposed to? What is your relationship with your mom and your family right now?
My mom and dad are probably the two. They actually just celebrated their 30th wedding anniversary, so that was pretty epic for me. They're actually on vacation right now.
Congratulations to your parents.
Welcome.
I'm so excited for them. But my mom and dad are like the two probably closest people I'll ever have in my life. And I mean, I tell them everything. We talk about everything. They yell at me, I yell at them. They love me, I love them. Like, it's probably the perfect bond almost. The rest of my family, I don't talk to them that often. But I do have some people in my family that support me, and then some people, obviously that don't care for my lifestyle, and that's their loss. If they want to be involved in my life, I'm not changing who I am to, accommodate them.
How do you deal with that? Because there's so many, and I'm kind of in your shoes. I'm kind of in your shoes as far as that. How do you deal with that and come to terms with it? Because I'm sure there's some, youngster out there who's listening to this and, they're trying to find answers. How do you personally deal with that?
As a role model.
The thing is, you can't make everyone happy. That's the thing. That's why you see so many of these people that are 35, 40 years old with, they're married with kids, and they're coming out, and their lives are falling apart. It's because they're trying to make someone else happy, and it's their life. And that's my thing is I can't change who I want to be or who I am to make other people happy. So once you realize that, I think you're a lot better off.
Right. Well put.
Yeah. I'm impressed.
Well, thank you, guys. Is there anything else you'd like to know? I'm actually about to get to bed, so I just wanted to call in and talk to you guys because I did watch it, so I wanted to.
Well, we really appreciate you calling in, absolutely, and we appreciate you supporting us, supporting you. So
No problem.
Thank you
so feel free.
so much.
I know next week is the finale episode, so definitely feel free to call in next week. We'll have all of our hosts in studio so you can see all of us,
and we'll be on a little bit earlier.
Yes, so you don't have to go right to bed. But can you give us anything? We want a second season of you guys, and we want it too. But that's how the networks work. They're not going to tell us anything. They're going to keep us waiting. So we will definitely see what happens. But I want it just as bad as some other people want it. So
well,
what would you like to see in the second season? What would you like to see you do in the second season?
I'm actually playing with a couple ideas. I would love to...
Don't tell us, but tell us what you would want to do in a second season.
Well, I just want to be I want to bring more of my friends on with me because my thing is I made this show, but I have so many amazing friends that they're way too good not to be known. America should know who they are because they're that amazing to me. So I want to bring more friends on. That's my one goal. And the second goal is I want to have a career next season. I don't want to be just bouncing around, jet setting drunk. I want a career. So that's my goal.
Bring more Braden on this.
Yeah, is Braden your friend? Because we love Braden.
Braden is my best friend. We've been friends since we first started college. Actually, when I was 17, I met him. He just started college, and we have been through hell and high water together. But no, he's probably my closest friend.
So let's kick Taylor off, and we'll bring Brandon in as a new cast member.
No comment, but
I think that would make your season epic, amazing.
James promised us that you won't contrive anything for the second season. Everything should be natural and slow, and nothing out of the ordinary.
True. Yes.
Well,
I don't know if you can promise that.
And James, right before you head out, when did you guys film the reunion, and can we expect any big blows from the reunion?
I'm pretty sure if I say anything, Logo will kill me. But let's just say it's going to be it's good. Like, I was actually kind of surprised at some of the stuff I said, and, you know, some people got their butt hurt, and some people got, you know, vengeance, and, I mean, it's a good reunion show.
All right. Well, thanks
Very
again.
I mean, it's Wendy Williams, so hell, like, you can't go wrong.
Oh, I love me some Wendy. Well, thank you, James, so much for calling in, and hopefully we'll hear from you again next week. So keep doing what you're doing, big man.
No problem. You guys behave yourselves at the party and be safe.
They will not.
We're not getting to finish our dessert.
You just shot them on a whole new high. They're going to be...
Oh, you better have a blast sitting with that mic.
Hey, Jesse,
You're going to lose your studio, right?
What was that?
You have a
James
blast
is
in that
Justin,
studio.
and hey guys, we're gonna lose you guys, but it was so good to talk to you guys. So we're gonna talk to you later.
Thank
when we
you,
get back to the
guys.
studio.
All right, bye, Kenny.
You guys
And,
have a good stuff and bye.
Jesse, hang up on them.
James, real
Hang
quick
up on
before
them.
you leave, where can everyone follow
Bye,
you?
guys. Have fun.
All right.
Bye. Where can everyone follow you on Twitter, James?
All right.
Oh, he
James,
just hung up too.
all right. So everyone hung up. So
everyone hung up.
now
That's
we all
fine.
have peace and quiet with the three of us.
If you want to follow James, it's at J Doyle.
All right.
Okay.
JDOYLE 4, the number 4.
All right, so you guys can follow James and keep up with him at JDoyle4. Wow, what a great surprise!
What a great surprise! Thank you so much for calling in and making our night that much more interesting.
Surely, because me and David were sitting there watching it like two old men, like drinking our tea.
We literally
watching the girls on TV.
It was fun.
It was fun. We had Rex. Rex was running around.
Rex was running around. It was very entertaining for me.
Good old times. All right, so we're going to skip a commercial break. We're going to go right into this. Let's kind of just bounce back into our special topic that we kind of threw it out there a little bit.
We did. We tasted it.
We tasted it. Now we're gonna dunk the cookie in the coffee.
Okay.
As we say in
Do
Massachusetts.
It.
So
Do it. Dunk the cookie in the coffee.
So please, before I screw his name up, what was his name?
His name is Jonah Mowry.
All right. So
and he is, I'm going to assume, since he started the 8th grade, a 13, 14-year-old boy. I don't know where he lives. And he posted this YouTube video back in August where he, if you haven't seen it, he sort of goes through flashcards of what's going on in his life at this moment, where he talks about how he's being bullied in school and he's afraid to go back, and he's
been being bullied since the first grade.
Since the first grade. He's considered suicide. He's been cutting since the 2nd grade, and he goes through all these very emotionally disturbing and upsetting things on these flashcards without ever really saying anything. And then at the end sort of says that he's not going anywhere because he's stronger than that, which I think is probably the best message that he could put out there. But I think as of late, there's been a lot of backlash, I think, on his video that he posted on whether or not it was real or fake, and whether or not he had other intentions while posting this video.
Well, and I'll speak to that.
Okay, please do.
Because before we get hate mail or anything like that, I watched the video, and I'm somebody who always will, critique everything. I break everything down. This is what my job is. We're here at AfterBuzz. We watch something, and we break it down.
Yes.
So... And as soon as David showed me this, I had my comments.
You did, and I had some of the same comments. I mean, he's going into 8th grade and he can't spell. I mean, that is an issue, I think, with the American schooling system, and not necessarily his own fault. But guess has 2 S's in it. The word cuz is spelled C-A-U-S-E, and you should never start a sentence with that word.
But so this is what I'm saying. Now,
being is spelled B-E-I-N-G, not Bing. That is a website.
Maybe that was a web promotion.
Search engine.
Maybe it was promotion.
Maybe it was.
All right, but so the thing is this: whether or not this is real, it is a real cause that's happening. So I give him the credit for that, for standing up for others who probably can't speak.
Correct.
Now, the only thing with this is if he's going around saying that this is really how he feels. Now, because my mind goes to different places. If you're going through these feelings and you don't know how to speak about it, but you know how to post it to millions of people, and very creative. I mean, Lady Gaga should
very dramatic, and I think it was, who knows whether or not he posted it recently, but it was definitely something that he shot and put online back in August, and it's only something that's coming to everyone's attention now.
I mean,
which I think is the most interesting thing. That it did take, it's December, September, October, November. It took 3-4 months, 3.5 months to go viral before anyone even took notice of it.
Again, I think it's a great cause. I think the purpose, I think the message of the video did what it needed to do.
It did. It definitely did. It's very
I don't know
touching.
If in school, I don't know if you had this. Cam, answer me if you did too, because I know they traveled America. It was this thing called The Girl in the Yellow Dress.
No, definitely not. I did not go to school in America.
No? Well, so The Girl in the Yellow Dress, they would come to your school and basically put on this mini production of a girl who goes through suicide, and they basically talk about suicide and how many people in America go through it. And they have this, at the end, you walk around your auditorium and look at all the different things, the different cases.
The scenario.
And they have this bell going off every 5 seconds, and whatever the statistics are, this quiet bell. Everyone's really quiet. And it just sets a tone. And I think this video set a tone, which is why I kind of looked at you like crazy, like, what are we watching right now? But I will say it did set a tone, and it sends a good message. I just want to know.
I don't know if it necessarily sends out the right message.
Right.
Just to have a disclaimer out there, there is definitely a message being told through his story and with his persona that he's presenting online. And whether or not he's feeling like that today, or maybe it was just that day he was having a rough day, and decided to make a video like this and create flashcards because he was too scared to say the words himself.
Well, when I say sends the right message, I'll put myself fully out there.
Do it, please, because
when growing up in middle school, actually the most, I mean, I have been bullied, I've been picked on myself. I've always been able to stand up for myself, though. Vocally, physically, It's
because you're a loudmouth.
I'm a loudmouth. But watching this video made me go back to when I was really younger, in grade school, and thinking about the kid, the weirdo in class that everyone used to make fun of, and I always would sit there and say to myself, what is it like living like that kid? And so to watch him with this video brought me back to that, and it actually made me really sad that I didn't back then stick up for that kid. And there's a very specific one in my head that actually this video really brought me to a moment.
What was his name?
I'm not putting his name up.
I mean, I know adults to this day who are scarred by the way that they were treated in middle school, elementary school, in high school, in kindergarten. Scarred. Emotionally scarred, going to therapy, trying to work on these things to this day. So it's just one of those things that bullying anybody, whether or not you're gay or you're fat or you have red hair or you're pale or the color of your skin, it's just, one of those things that's inevitable in children's culture. It's not necessarily something it's learned. It's innate in a human's nature to pick on the weak, and unfortunately a few people have to bear the brunt of these attacks from other people, and it's just something that in the end can only make you stronger.
So do we think this video is going to help him or hurt
I don't
him?
know if, who the hell knows? He's had a lot of internet bullying now. He's extended his bullying abilities worldwide. There's been a lot of backlash online. There's people reposting his video. There's people commenting on his video via YouTube saying that he's a fake, saying that he's been posting on Twitter that he wants to be the next Rebecca Black, and tweeting.
This is the wrong way to go about being Rebecca Black.
It's a different.
This is the only. If you want fame from it, that's really bad that you're using other people's sorrows to gain that fame. However, I don't know if it's him. What I was more, when I watched it, confused about was, is this GLAAD? Is this a campaign using a child? Because just the way it was
there is
done.
no way in hell a big organization like GLAAD or any other organization that's as large as that is going to reach out to a child to do something like this. Because he genuinely...
okay, I don't want to put GLAAD out there.
Okay.
Let's not put somebody that big out there, but...
I mean, that would seem
I don't know.
ridiculous
To me, an 8th grader, and I know only reason we spoke about the spelling was because for as creative as this was, for an 8th grader to sit there and think, how can I get this message across? I mean, obviously, if you're being picked on, because I know when I was picked on when I was going through really depressing times, you just sit and reflect.
You do, and there's sometimes, I mean, in our generation, there was no one to turn to. You couldn't go online, make a video, and post it so that people could reach out to you and help you. I mean, it was sort of either you reflect on your own or you talk to your parents about it. Or you go to the school guidance counselor, and sometimes you're just afraid to do something like that. And this, I think, is just, it was an easy way for him to get his emotions out.
Cameron, what are your thoughts as far as everything?
I mean, it's doing what I think what made it viral. Right now, we're talking about different aspects of it. The reality is maybe he did cue cards because he has a friend who is deaf and can't hear. I mean, we don't know. I mean, he says he posted it at 4 o'clock in the morning. He hadn't been sleeping at night. Jesse, I'm kind of I'm on thread with you, but David, you actually hit on it. The culture of children is very cruel. I think kids like to pick on what is different, and then as we pick on what is different, we don't necessarily need to be bullies about it, but because we see the attention that it gets us when we draw out the difference and make comment on it, when we post commentary like we comment right now on TV shows, it draws us attention and it gives us that surge of energy that we feed off of, and people feed. It's like a feeding frenzy. So that bullying then starts to take on its own character, and it just rolls into a bigger scenario. I mean, we could be totally reading into it more than it really is. Hopefully, he's doing good. I believe there's bullying in all aspects of life. So, I mean, I'm not as sensitive to the gay bullying as maybe I should be. I think maybe I have to put a little more focus on it. But I wasn't too thrilled by the video, but it definitely set a tone, which, you know, if that was the intention, then rock on. It's over 5 million views, so
yeah. There have been updates online. Everyone has been wondering whether or not he did go through with his depression and the depression got the best of him, and whether or not he committed suicide and how he's doing. And I pulled up online on Perez Hilton that he is doing much better. He is a lot happier and has created sort of a new circle of friends within his school where he can be accepted and free to be who he is.
Oh, that's good. And I hope that this also causes attention to his parents as far as what they need to do.
Hopefully.
Well, that's exactly, Jesse. That's exactly what I wanted to talk about. Because, I mean, David, maybe with you, or Jesse with you, I was kept busy all the time. I didn't have much time to think about my sexuality when I was a kid at that age. I was busy playing sports and doing school and doing homework. And I understand that we still find the time, but I was too busy.
Well, but, you know, and it's a thing that I've kind of looked at our society now. We put so much into the entertainment world, and we watch so much TV, and it's going against everything we do here at AfterBuzz.
Completely.
But the point is when I was younger, I didn't have time to watch TV. I watched it, but you know, when I got out of school, my mom was like, okay, go outside, come back before the lights turn on. As soon as the lights turn on, I was back inside, and I needed to eat dinner with my family. We watched TV as we ate dinner, and we would talk during the commercials, and then after that, we would have family time, and then it would be bedtime. It was never any time to just sit there, but this is the thing. We have TVs babysitting our kids. I worked at the Boys and Girls Club. I've seen it too many times, and this isn't just a gay issue. This is an issue with just our society, that a lot of parents, and I understand things are tough, and parents have to be working all the time, but there are ways around it, and that's why I love, you know, the YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, you know, that we've created a family, a positive family for these kids to go someplace after school and not be babysat by the TV.
But that's the thing. As a culture, we have become this fame-centric society where everything is so focused on how famous you are, how much money you're making, how many television shows you can be on at once, like the Kardashian family, how many magazine covers you can have. I mean, I went to the store the other day, and the Kardashians are on 6 or 7 covers.
Right.
I mean, that is the society that we live in now.
So how do, so overall, I'm going to say this video is positive. It's good. And the fact that it's bringing up the conversation that needs to be brought up.
Whether or not it was real or fake, it is a good conversation to always be having, I think.
So as far as the three of us are concerned, because I think about it every day, when I think of what is my purpose in this world, is it to be on TV? Is it to be a select? You know what I mean? You think the fame stuff, but then at the same time, when you think about just who you are as a person, the people that you touch in your everyday life, I mean, yeah, it would be great, like James said, to use a platform to reach out to hundreds of thousands of people, but beyond that, I look at America today. We're sitting here worrying about the poor in Africa, the poor in everywhere else. Well, what about the poor down here in LA?
Right.
What about, the poor that we have in our own country that we're not dealing with?
In our own cities, in our own towns.
I agree.
I agree. I think we're always trying to put these big statements out there, and then it's like, great, well, how can we make this look flashy? And then it becomes this fame-centric campaign that really nobody's doing anything about. We all talk about it, we all say it, but are you really, after Thanksgiving, did you really go walk down to Skid Row and give your leftovers to the homeless? No, they probably just sat
Bitch, I live on Skid Row, and I walked outside and gave those homeless food.
No, well, no, and it's funny because I did as well.
That was the first thing I did. Before we even ate, I was like, I'm making a couple plates, and there's some homeless outside I'm bringing food to. Deal with it. And
you know what? And I'm going to say I've never been... I'm going to say this, and this is like a campaign for the Boys and Girls Club, but it really changed my life to meet children who didn't have what I had growing up, to not understand what love is, and to be so, what's the new phone coming out? What's this? What's this? What's this? That everyone's looking down, and everyone's living life through these technology that we're so into playing. And I know, David, you love The Sims, but we're so obsessed with
what? I don't even know how to work my computer.
Oh wait, I felt like it was you who told me you were obsessed with The Sims. All right, well, we're so obsessed with the sim culture of living life through the computer, Facebook, and all that.
Well, I mean, that's the whole thing. Like Jonah Maury, this kid who's 14 years old. First of all, why is he awake at 4 o'clock in the morning? Second of all, why does he have access to a computer with a camera at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Right.
We all know as kids, we know how to get into our parents' stuff. I mean, that's neither here nor there.
We do, but like,
I agree.
Growing up, my family computer was in the family room right in front of my parents' like bedroom.
And to be honest with you, to really be real, like my parents were sticklers. Like 8th grade, I was home by 8 o'clock. 9th grade, I could stay out till 9 o'clock. 10th grade, 10 o'clock. Like it was like that. To get on that computer, we had Net Nanny. You could not log into. You could play solitaire. We could play solitaire, and my brother had Warcraft.
Amazing.
And these are what we could play during hours that my parents were awake. But it's so lenient because it's like, oh, well, everything has a computer on it. Your phone has
your phone has a computer on it to these days. I mean,
so who do you blame for that?
It's the parents, really. I mean, but to the same degree, I mean, it is, it is what it is in this society.
It is the parents. It is the parents. It's parents. These kids did not ask to be born.
That is also true.
Preach on. All right, we got to start to... Rex is telling us we got to wrap up. So really quickly, let's just shoot into predictions. Next week looks kind of
your
heated.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
That's nice.
Nice and quick
special?
And short. James and Ashley
have a big blowout. She says she's done with him.
Obviously, we just heard that that's not going to be the case, but
it makes for entertaining television.
And it's very interesting that we're going to see.
Taylor meets with Ann Coulter, has lunch with her,
That's what I'm really excited to watch.
Is going to be, I think, a very heated discussion here at AfterBuzz.
I'm very excited. I think we might need to extend our time next week because I think next week is going to be a huge show for us.
The last thing I think Ann Coulter needs is more airtime on any television show. Okay.
Especially on Logo.
Especially on Logo.
And then we have Taylor who tells Chase about him and Levi.
Him and Levi forking.
So, I don't know where that leaves Chase and Levi.
It's going to be an interesting season finale.
It is. Well, Cameron, thank you for staying up with us. Yes. I know you're sick, and and all that good stuff. But we
and
appreciate
Kenny
you.
and Natalie and Jackie, thank you guys for calling in, even though you were at your holiday party drinking and having fun. And James, again, thank you so much for calling in. From everyone here at the AfterBuzz TV family.
You better work AfterBuzzer of the month.
I am no longer
more.
AfterBuzzer of the month. That's
He's
because I
been
can't show up
demoted.
anymore. I've been demoted. But I am David Schifilliti, your host, DJ Jesse Janedy over there in the booth.
And Cameron Marston, sick on the phone.
Sick on the phone.
You guys have a good night.
Have a good night, guys,
Good
and
night,
we'll see you next week.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janedy, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.